All right, Ken Orange Theory Trader back with you with another video with some frequently asked questions for infinite scalping. So let's go. Now, what is infinite scalping? It's a way of taking multiple trades in candle 3 or 4 of the candle range theory, and we scalp the market and compound profits quickly in order to explode our gains. Now, who is this method for? It is for people who primarily have time to trade, usually Asia or London sessions, because we use the daily chart and we expect all day movement in our favor with candle 3 or 4. It's also for people with disposable income. So they're not necessarily trying to trade full time, but just some side hustle money. People who aren't trying to get rich, they're just trying to make a little side money. Disciplined people as well, and people with high risk tolerance. So what are the major factors for making this work? Number one is using a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, 20 pip stop loss, 20 pip take profit, period. Okay, no more, no less. Taking losses quickly. In other words, we try not to let the trade hit our stop loss if we're trading 1-to-1, using 20 pip stop loss, 20 pip take profit. Sticking to a bias, using a high leverage broker is also important because we do trade some size here, and we only trade one entry. So the entries that we do make, they're worth it. So we also trade off of fair value gaps. We need patience and disposable money to trade. Now, as far as time frames, we frame the daily CRT. We use that and just look for daily candle range threes, and as well 5-minute charts for our entries. So you can experiment with others, but that's just what I use. Now, can I use this method with a prop firm? I mean, if you honor the prop firm's rules, I wouldn't recommend it though, because this type of trading can be seen as gambling behavior or high risk behavior. And as well, you do have to remember that prop firms have a daily loss limit, and they also may have max lot sizes, as well as consistency rules. It's going to be kind of hard to be consistent using this method because your wins can be all over the place because you're compounding. So I don't recommend using them with prop firms. I think it's best with your own money. So I don't think it's a good fit, to be frank. If you can figure out a way to make it work, though, feel free. Now, why is the account balance recommended at $100? So you'll lose some of the accounts that you start. Okay, so this method is really about hyper growth over one day, one time period. So if you use a small amount of money that you're okay with losing, then you can make this work. So let's say you start 3 accounts with $100, right? The first account, you're going to lose most of it, and it goes down to say $20. So then what you have to do is start with an $80 deposit to make it be at the $100 minimum. And let's say the next day, okay, you grow it from 100 to 350 and you withdraw all your profits. And then the next day, the account goes from 100 to 220. Okay, your money in was $100 to start, and then another $80 deposit to bring the account back up to the $100. Okay, I never recommend letting the account get to zero. So you did manage to pull $370 out of the market. So after those 2 transactions, you've made $190 in net profit in those 3 days. Okay, so you have to it's just math. Okay, as long as you're pulling out more than what you're putting in, that's the name of any game. Okay, business, trading, it doesn't matter. Okay, so wow. Now, next question. Why not just use a 1-to-3 or 1-to-5 risk to reward if I'm trading candle 3? You can. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's just compare all of those models. So let's say you have trader 1 uses a 1-to-3. He or she risks 50 to make 150, and they're successful. Fine. Trader 2 uses 1-to-5. They risk $50 to make $250. Okay, so they can do that. That's more than fine. Now, Trader 3 uses infinite compounding. So what they're going to do is they risk 50 to make 50 just using 1-to-1, and they hit. The next trade they risk 100 to make 100 using 1-to-1. That trade hits. Last trade, they risk 200 to make 200. If all their trades hit, they have made $50, $100, and then $200. All of those amounts together equal $350, all with 1-to-1s. Trader 3 has made more than Trader 1 and Trader 2, even though they all may have been trading the same quote-unquote candle 3. Okay, so this channel, though, is just about providing options. I'm not telling you what to do, right? It's like a buffet, and you pick what you want, ignore what you don't want. This way of trading is not for everybody. I already know that. Okay, some people would do better just trading a 1-to-1 fixed than trying to compound the profits. So there you go. But you can do whatever works for you. Now, how many successful trades should I expect? If you're trading a good candle 3, a solid candle 3, usually you should be able to find at least 2 to 3 successful 1-to-1 trades with a 20 pip stop loss, 20 pip take profit. If you can get 3 successful trades in a row and withdraw your profits, you're golden. I stop at 3. Is this sustainable long term? Now, the goal with using this should be to get on and stay on house money as long as possible. So that means the broker's money. Once you get out your initial principal, you're trading the broker's money. You're trading free at that point. So let's say, for example, you have a day one where you turn 100 into 300 and you withdraw. Okay, now technically you're on house money. Day two, you managed to turn 100 into 200. You'd make another withdrawal. That's still house money. Now, day three is a losing day. You have to deposit 50 bucks. Okay, and day four, you managed to turn 100 into 400. You withdraw 300 bucks. After all this is said and done, you've only put up $150 total. So what I consider this a high risk account. Okay. Now, as you pull out money, if you want to start or use that money that you're pulling out to possibly start a conservative account or maybe buy prop firm challenges, you can do that. Okay. Because at the end of the day, this is a good starting place. But always think scale. Always think of getting access to more capital. You're not gonna be able to quit your job using this type of method. I would say that. Like I said, it's good for side hustle money, but you're not going to be able to live off a $100 Forex account. I don't want to even put that idea in your head. Not going to happen. Okay. It's a good starting place though. So how could a normal trading day look? Here's what you may be able to expect. This is just one example. You could have a perfect day. You could have a day where you lose most of your money too. But this is an example of a possible winning day. So you start with 100 bucks. You take one trade first. You risk 50 to make 50. You lose 20 because you don't let the trade hit your stop loss. It just goes against you. You get out early. Fine. Now your account balance is at 80. Out of that 80, you risk 40. You win. Your new account balance goes to 120. Okay. You risk 50 to make 50. You lose 30. Okay. So you're back down now to 90 bucks. Then, as candle 3 starts to go into your favor, you have a $90 balance. You risk 50 to make 50 and you win. And then you get one more. You risk 90 to make 90 and then you win. So at the end of all of that, after 2 losses and 3 wins, you have made, or your balance is at 230. You pull out 130 and start over tomorrow. And that's how a normal winning trading day could look. You also could win just 3 in a row as well. It can't be predicted. So I'm not going to, that's just a sample. But don't expect to win all your trades, even if you have a legit candle 3. Now, how can I know this works for sure? If you understand how candle 3 or 4 moves, just test it with a demo account. See how it goes. You don't have to use real money for this. Now, some may say as well, this is too high risk and a terrible way to trade. I wouldn't argue with you. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. Do what works for you. I do not care. Doesn't matter to me how a trader makes their money. So in conclusion, just look at this method as a series of hitting base hits for a chance of some steady side income. It's not about getting that one big trade and I made $1,000 in a day. It's really not about that. It's a series of winners that can make trading worth it though, right? So this isn't for people who just want to make 1% a day. It's not. Okay. It's not. So I'm not saying that this is a method that people should stay with, because really at the end of the day, thinking long term, you want to have a large account. The dream scenario, I believe, for any trader would be in a position to make, let's just say, $1,000 a day or up to $5,000 a day on a 1-to-1. So you risk 5,000 to make 5,000, right? But you have to have a big enough account to sustain that, to handle that lot size. You can't risk 1,000 with a $100 account. That's not going to work. Okay, you would say maybe need a $20,000 account. Then you can risk 1,000 to make 1,000. Okay, be it a prop firm or personal capital, but that should be the goal. All right, so it's still about managing risk though at the end of the day. So I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day. Take care.